while design does involve creativity and making, when it's at its best, it innovates. Design innovation addresses needs that people don't share, the unarticulated needs, those things that we all wish somebody would take care of. Designers come in, innovate, and create something that meets those needs. Sometimes that innovation is extreme, it's radical, and sometimes those innovations are incremental. They step one bit at a time. They improve the problem, they address the need just a little bit to make it a tad bit better. That presents us with two types of innovation: incremental innovation and radical innovation. So incremental innovation takes something that already exists, that works okay, and makes it a little better. For instance, I've got my coffee mug here. It's nicer than the typical coffee mug. It's got a nice lid to it, goes up and down, and it's ceramic, does have some insulation. So it keeps my coffee warm for a good half hour before it starts to get a bit tepid and kind of, frankly, undrinkable. But then you can move up to an incremental innovation like this. You've got a vacuum sealed container that keeps your drink warm or cold a whole lot longer. It's a incremental innovation. It took something that worked okay and still maintained the same, I guess, form factor, looks like about the same kind of vessel, but just pluses it, makes it a bit better. The nice thing about incremental innovation is we know what we're getting into when we do this. When designers take something and make it just a little better, there are fewer factors that we have to deal with. We're going to keep the same format. We know that there's still going to be a top. We know that people are going to drink it the same way. We're just going to keep things warmer longer. We're going to apply technology so it does the job a little better. Radical innovation, however, oftentimes breaks the rules, but it presents some really great opportunities for advancement. So Southwest Airlines, if you've ever flown Southwest, you know that they have an open seating policy. This blew people's minds when Southwest goes into a market that people aren't aware of this. So when you take a flight, typically you book your travel, you know you're going to be in seat 3F or whatever, and you know well in advance that when you walk onto that aircraft, your seat's going to be waiting for you. The Southwest model with open seating means that you book a flight on Southwest, but any seat is yours. You can sit wherever you want to. When I worked at Southwest Airlines and we flew into Long Island, Islip, the airport there, I got a call once from a customer asking, like, okay, so I won't actually get a seat? It was before they had booked their travel. I won't actually know what seat I'll have before I get on the aircraft? No, you won't. You can take any seat you want to. Really? People were very confused by this. It's a radical innovation. People are used to knowing exactly where they're going to sit when they get on one of these things. When you fly on Southwest, the radical innovation is you can sit wherever you want to. That speeds the boarding process. Southwest, for a while, they would turn planes in 10 minutes. Land an aircraft, everybody off, everybody on, 10 minutes go. Now, air traffic has changed in the years and they don't do the 10-minute turn, but that open seating policy was a big reason why they're able to do that. It's a radical innovation, though, where people get confused by it. They're not familiar with it. You have to go out of your way to share with people exactly how this thing works. But the radical innovation does give some great opportunities for advancement. So between incremental and radical innovation, designers have a choice. And actually, I think the best choice when starting out with early prototypes is to be open to both ways. Radical innovation can teach us a lot of things. It gets us to think way, way out there, the what ifs. Let's break the rules and do something totally different. We might come up with something way better than we could have imagined, but we have to be aware. Some of the outcomes could actually cause some problems that we might not expect. The incremental innovation is still a really valid way to go. There's a lot of value in looking at something that's broken and then trying to make it a little better, plussing it, advancing bit by bit. Now, the iPhone's an example where by removing the headphone jack, it's an incremental innovation. Yes, we're continuing to get these things thinner and thinner and thinner. So the incremental is, let's get it thinner again. Let's move to wireless earbuds. The buds are still the same, it's just now they're wireless. Incremental. We've removed the headphone jack. Incremental. However, this incremental innovation has caused some waves. People who own lots of different accessories, now they can't use this device. Now they're having to buy new accessories because they've removed the headphone jack. So not always is an incremental innovation the safe way to go. But it's still good to remember as a designer, try both ways, think both ways. And when you're doing that prototyping, don't ignore the other. You'll probably learn something in the process that'll lead to a better outcome.